Peace. It's your boy George Romo back at it. Make this quick video asking the question, do black African Americans have culture? Um and the way this topic came about is I met an African brother about a week ago in a gas station. And he told me he was from the Ivory Coast, and then we engaged in a small conversation about Africa. And he told me that usually um, African Americans don't ask him about Africa or seem to have any interest in Africa. And I told him that I study Africa, um, and I'm very in tune with with my people, with the history and whatnot. And he made a statement that the people here um, don't seem to have any interest in Africa, and they believe that their history started with slavery, and the people don't have any culture, that they're just living. And now that is what I took issue with. Um, to think that we've been here in this country for all these centuries, and to feel like we don't have culture or have a culture or haven't created a culture. I felt like that was I noticed that brothers from throughout the diaspora, um, they feel that way about African Americans, that we don't have culture, or that um we don't have culture. But so it got me to thinking about our culture. So I have a few points that I want to touch on. First, we created every genre of music in the United States. No genre of music can succeed in the United States and throughout the world unless African Americans embrace it. We have the best athletes in the world. We are the best to ever compete at any sport that we've participated in. When you think about college football on Saturdays, if we didn't play, no one would watch. Professional football on Sundays, if we didn't play, no one would watch. March Madness, college basketball, if we didn't play, no one would watch. The NBA playoffs, if we didn't play, no one would watch. Um, the biggest boxing matches ever. People tune into it hoping to see us lose. And you can go way back as far as Jack Johnson to Joe Louis to Muhammad Ali to Mike Tyson to Floyd and to even Deontay Wilder. People watch in hopes that we would lose because we're involved in it. That's the reason they watch. We are the most fashionable people on the planet. No fashion or style is successful unless we accept and embrace it and give it our stamp of approval. We've made every popular brand, whether it be high end or streetwear, cool and sought after. We made Gucci and Louis Vuitton popular and cool. Nike, Puma, Adidas, any brand you can name, we made it cool. Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger, we made all of these brands cool. We made them popular. When it comes to the hairstyles, um, our women, no one has been as innovative with hair as African American women. Whether it be with the braids, even though the braids are African in they are African braids, but no one ever styled them the way that our women do. With the natural hairstyles, no one ever jazzed up the natural styles the way our women did. Um, make it curly or wavy, and however the women do with the natural hair, the beautiful natural hairstyles. Even when it comes to straightening the hair, the women when they have a lot of body in the hair, no other woman has hair like African American women that comes from our women. With the men, with the fades, no one was getting their hair faded before African American men. High top fades, low top fades, the parts, the different parts in the hair, the designs in the hair, the waves, all the different styles, the cuts. That's African American. When it comes to the braids, braided to the scalp, all the different designs, zigzagging braids, fish bones. That's African American culture. When it comes to the locks, everyone else around the world, when they have locks, they don't manicure their locks. That's African American culture to have clean and neat locks, to get your locks styled. No one does that around the world besides us. Or if they do it, they done it after us because we get the locks and we style them. We created all those things. When it comes to religion, even though with Christianity it was forced upon us, we made it our own. No Christian sect worships and praises the way that African Americans do. No one has the strength with their gospel music the way that we do, whether you believe in it or not. When people are in the building or when they're hearing that music, they can feel that power and energy from our gospel music. When it comes to education, no one has been deprived like African Americans have been when it comes to getting a good education. And our people have still persevered and attained high levels of education and made it into institutions that people systematically kept us out of. No one has achieved like us. I think African American women are the most educated women by by percentage than any women than any other people in the world. Some of the greatest scholars to ever come from this country are African American. We have communities of brothers who are scholars, and they never even stepped foot in the college, but they've read a million books and they've studied and they're scholars, and they're some of the most knowledgeable people in the world. And they come up with different curriculums and plans and different studies that people all around the world use. Those are African American brothers and sisters. When it comes to being a revolutionary people and a freedom fighting people, we have a culture of standing up and fighting for what's right. Hence the reason why there have been so many attacks on our strides for liberation. We fought in every war with the most patriotic people in the world because we fought for a country that we actually built. We actually built the country. We fought for them, and we were still mistreated. We're the most patriotic people in the world. We have a culture of building. Like I said, we built the country, and we still haven't been compensated for it. We built the nation that is known as the land of opportunity and the most powerful nation in the world. And we also fought for civil rights that allowed immigrants to come in and pursue better lives. We built communities for ourselves and created businesses without any handouts or help like other races and cultures, races or ethnic groups get when they come into this country. And we had them all destroyed, and it was sanctioned by the government, and we still kept doing it. No other people in the world has had that done to them in their own country and no one be punished for it. We have never been the majority here, and we've had every law made to hinder us, and we've still been able to become successful. And this is something that we can't say about a lot of African countries and a lot of the other countries throughout the diaspora that are economically deprived or struggling, and they're the majority there. And also those countries, those other predominantly black countries that are dominated by white supremacy. When it comes to socializing, our social skills, we've created our own separate language, and we've created terms and ways to communicate with each other that has become pop culture. Our slang that we use in the neighborhoods growing up with each other has become pop culture, and no other people can say that. Our slangs are used all over the world. The way that we greet each other, no one in the world was doing it before we did it. Whether it comes from our handshakes, the handshake and hug, the fist bumps, however we decide to communicate or greet each other. When it comes to family gatherings and cookouts and barbecues, that is Black American culture. When it comes to holiday gatherings, that's Black American culture. Everyone, even if your family doesn't partake in it, you know people whose family does. That's Black American culture. When you think of American food, the only thing that comes to mind that is memorable or of any substance is our soul food. That's simple and plain. We are the culture. If you remove us off the face of the earth, things would be much different because we are the culture. If you removed us from the United States would not exist. If people aren't in tune with what we're doing or what we have going on, they are categorized as out of touch. And that's the facts of it. Simply put, is because we are the culture. So that's my take on, do African Americans, Black African Americans, have culture? And my answer would be, we are the culture. One.